Hello, and welcome to our lesson on key issues in logistics and supply chain. This segment will discuss the issues or problems that exist in supply chain management. There are long lists of supply chain management issues and problems in published and unpublished literature. Researchers Chandra and Grabus, 2007, mentioned some of these problems and issues. However, Chandra and Grabus also suggested problem-solving approaches for all these issues and related supply chain problems. The tables show the supply chain management issues and the suggested problem-solving approaches. We will talk about each issue and its problem-solving approach in detail. In a supply chain, a distribution network is an interconnected group of storage facilities and transportation systems that receive goods inventories and then deliver them to customers. Getting products from the manufacturer to the end customer directly or through a retail network is an intermediate point. A fast and reliable distribution network is essential in today's instant gratification society of consumers. The issue in the supply chain includes distribution network configuration. Recent problems are associated with this, such as difficulties in the logistics and transportation sector and raw material shortages, including semiconductor products. The more nodes and links in a network, the more complex it becomes. As a result of outsourcing non-core activities, many companies are much more reliant on external suppliers of goods and services. Those external suppliers also are dependent upon a web of second-tier suppliers, and so on. There is a strong likelihood that the focal firm at the center of the network will not even be aware of many of the second or third-tier suppliers that feed their upstream supply chain. These extended networks heighten the potential for unexpected disruptions to the supply chain. The distribution network configuration issues can be solved by network flow optimization, which refers to all processes that help improve supply chain performance and efficiency. It applies to managerial approaches, both quantitative and qualitative, that help make a supply chain more agile and lean, grow profit, and reduce costs. Another issue in the supply chain is the supplier contracts. Procurement manages supply chain risks by effectively negotiating contracts, cost and price models, quality, and other essential supply characteristics. The pandemic-driven strains in supply chains are triggering changes in contract terms between suppliers and their manufacturing and retail customers as companies try to address the risks and added costs brought on by persistent delays and disruptions. As a problem-solving approach, global optimization can resolve the issue. Global optimization is a quantitative approach to finding the best combination of facilities, warehouses, the flows between them, production resource allocation, and other elements under specific constraints or issues. Supply chain integration will likely become a critical competitive advantage of selected e-marketplaces. It is a similar concept to the back-end integration, but with greater emphasis on moving goods and services. With strategic partnerships or alliances with suppliers, distributors, and other companies with similar capabilities. Although this can be a competitive advantage, problems include a need for more information sharing, trust, knowledge, demand distortion, and cost integration. However, the problem-solving approach is the CPFR, or Collaborative Planning, Forecasting, and Replenishment, which refers to a collaboration process whereby supply chain trading partners can jointly plan key supply chain activities from the production and delivery of raw materials to the production and delivery of final products to end customers. Collaboration encompasses business planning, sales forecasting, and all operations required to replenish raw materials and finished goods. CPFR is considered a standard endorsed by the Voluntary Inter-Industry Commerce Standards. One of the supply chain issues is developing effective inventory control systems to minimize stockouts and waste in service and manufacturing companies, which is a very complex problem. Excessive inventory is a killer and dangerous for companies and is a sign of poor inventory management that builds unnecessary waste of scarce resources. However, excessive inventory adversely affects a company's financial performance. All service and manufacturing companies are concerned with effective inventory control and planning. Inventory requires storage and handling space capital investment and is subject to shrinkage and deterioration. One of the solutions to solve issues in inventory control is forecasting and inventory management. The area of forecasting expected customer demand and the associated requirement of carrying inventory has been revolutionized by using customized computer packages. These packages comprise several algorithms that enable the forecaster to use many techniques, including exponential smoothing, moving averages, and regression analysis. These systems may be fed with information directly from inventory management systems and sales order processing to allow them to quickly assess how customer demand is developing by individual SKU, stock keeping unit. Inventory management systems provide the ability to operate a firm's day-to-day detailed management and control of stock. They are essential for stock location and, in their ability, if used effectively, to control the stock levels within a system. These types of expertise enable companies to minimize inventory holding requirements, which enhances the return on capital invested and improves stock turnover. By using these systems, customer service is also maintained, and the incidence of stockouts is minimized. One of the supply chain issues is the physical distribution of goods, a problem distinct from the creation of demand. Not a few worthy failures in distribution campaigns have been due to a lack of coordination between demand creation and physical supply. Instead of being a subsequent problem, this question of supply must be met and answered before the work of distribution begins. This will be further discussed in the next lesson. Supply chains now cope with many uncertainties, and their stakeholders are strongly interconnected, illuminating new opportunities at a tremendous pace. The companies must rethink their decision support systems to remain competitive, particularly strategic supply chain capacity planning systems that should ensure resource availability. Unfortunately, existing systems do not satisfactorily consider this new deal. As part of the solution, Enterprise Resource Planning, ERP, is a platform companies use to manage and integrate the essential parts of their businesses. ERP applications also allow the different departments to communicate and share information more easily with the rest of the company. It collects information about the activity and state of different divisions, making it available to other parts where it can be used productively. Recognize that once a firm outsources an item or service, it usually loses the ability to bring that production capability or technology in-house without committing a significant investment. Subcontracting is a process of sending production work outside to another manufacturer. This can involve specialized operations, such as plating metals, or complete functional operations. Outsourcing may lead to poor quality of the products and services and loss of confidential data or information. To solve the issue, the risk of outsourcing should be appropriately managed. The relative value of activities is assessed according to how they contribute to customer value or meet an organization's needs. The degree of contribution reflects the influence of an activity's cost driver. The issue can be solved by statistical process control or the visual means of measuring and plotting process and product variation. Results are used to adjust variables and maintain product quality. Also, it can be solved through TQM or Total Quality Management, which is a management approach in which managers constantly communicate with organizational stakeholders to emphasize the importance of continuous quality improvement. This is the end of this segment of our lesson. In the next segment, we shall discuss network configuration and competition. This course is presented to you by South Europe College. Thank you for listening, and see you on our next segment.